Vamos, amigo. Hello, everyone. So this is the first time telling this story. So because of that, I'm going to ask you, all of you, to do something for just some seconds. I want all of you to close your eyes and imagine that you are right now in your bed sleeping. You're relaxed. It's a relaxing exercise. You're relaxed. You're in bed. But then you realize that there's a terrible light above you that is bothering you. But you try to continue sleeping. And then you start to hear weird noises, loud voices. And someone starts to cry in the background. So you start to waking up. And then you start to feel this terrible smell. And that is so hot that you can breathe. So you decide to open your eyes. And that's when it hits you. You're not in your room. You're in a hot, tiny cell. A tiny cell that maybe is only for 3 people, but now you're sharing with 11 others, all of them in the floor. The guards enter to a cell and start to scream at you, mock at you, and treat you like you were a criminal, but you're not. You're a human rights defender. You don't know what is going to happen with you. Some of your cellmates have been there for the last 13 days. And others, 11 years. You will not believe it, this is how I wake up in May 2014. I was planning to give a conference in another country, and actually I was planning to come here to Boston because I was already accepted at this school, and the government detained me at the airport because of my work. And it was because people outside the world start to protest those days, I was released. This is the concept that I call global solidarity. So people outside the world make a change in my country. So that was not all. They released me, they took my passports and prohibited me to leave the country. They banned me. But I continued to do my work. And 1 year after, almost the same week, I was returning home from a protest. And 2 cars, when I was arriving to my home, 2 cars stopped at me. 6 guys get out of the cars, started to point guns at me, and asked me to leave my car. And I say, well, this is happening again. They put me in their car, and for the next few hours, they threatened me that they were going to cut my ears and kill me. So this time, I didn't know I was going to live the next 10 minutes of my life. So I started to cry and pray, and I promised God that if I survived that event, I was going to escape. Why I needed to escape? Because I didn't have a passport. I had a ban to leave the country, but it was not safe anymore to be in my country. So they released me in a dark street of Caracas, and the next thing that I did is start to plan my escape. So one day, I started to cross 20 different towns, and for 2 weeks, I pretend to be somebody else, speaking another language with a different name. Because I was living in a country that does not believe in freedom. Actually, I spent 1 week in a refugee camp, and again, a lot of people outside started to help me. And I remember that I arrived from my escape the first day we start classes, just the same day. I was arriving with the same clothes that I was using for the last 2 weeks, and I feel so great because I was finally safe. So my country, so you can imagine a human rights activist, why he was in jail, why he was kidnapped, he need even to escape from his country. Well, right now, let me tell you about Venezuela. What is happening there? Venezuela has the highest number of political prisoners in the continent. You will not believe it, but more than Cuba. 90% of the media is controlled by the government. 96% of medicines are missing. There is no food. People have to make lines for 9 hours to buy food. We have the highest inflation in the world. And this means, like, I don't know, if you want to go out with a girl, and you want to pay the dinner, at the end of the night, you will know if you're going to have enough money, because just prices change every day. And it may sound funny, but it's not. Then, and the thing that I hate the most is that, for example, Caracas, where I come from, is the most dangerous city in the world right now. During this event, maybe they will die 10 people in Venezuela because every day 100 people died there. I come from a silent war. More people have died in the last 13 years in my country than in the war in Iran, in the war in Iraq and Afghanistan combined. More than 260,000 people. And this number is just a number, but for us it means that each one of us has lost someone. A relative, a lover, or a friend. So talking about friends, a good friend of mine used to be seated at this chair some years ago. He used to be a Kenny school student, waiting for his friend at the photo, maybe to eat, attending to our same classes. But for the last 2 years of his life, Leopoldo Lopez has been confined in a tower alone without access to any other political prisoner. Just a Kenny student just like us, that for applying what we learn here, he's also in jail. Actually, some months ago, the police entered to his cell and threw human feces on him and wake him in the middle of the night just to beat him. And this is just one story of the 82 stories of political prisoners in my continent. And for a little bit, I was one. But thanks again to Global Solidarity, I'm here with you today. So let me explain you what happened, what helped me to escape. In 2014, the opposition started to make protests against all these terrible things that were happening. And the react of the government, because they couldn't resolve the problem, they're starting to kill innocent people and torture them. So after 1 month, 30 people were killed and more than 1,000 students were detained. We were so afraid that we knew that we needed international support. So we decided to create an international protest that we call SOS Venezuela, calling the attention of people outside to start to talk what was happening in Venezuela. So we created an event on Facebook, and with this tool, we started telling people to form the word SOS in their cities. No matter where you are, go on the streets, create a new event on your own profile, and call people to show and call the attention of the media and explain what was happening in Venezuela. So I remember that the first city was Madrid, who said that they were going to act. Then I remember that it was Rome, San Salvador, Buenos Aires, Barcelona, Dubai, and then 10 more cities, 20 more, 30 more, 50, 60, 80, 90, 100, 120 cities all over the world decide to stand up and say something and claim to stop the killing of innocent people in Venezuela. After that, from Hollywood stars to national football team joined our cause, making the government stop the killing. So they create a change from the outside. We're not talking about 1,000 people. Just people like you decide to do something. So this was so important for us because I'm here because of these people. 2 months after, the government went after me because of this, and against my organization. But it was because all these networks started to protest again. I was the only political prisoner being released those days. So my message here, imagine what we can do. We at this university, maybe we represent 100 countries. And when it most needed, people did something. Imagine the pressure what we can do to release the other 82 political prisoners. And I know that it was going to be thanks to this powerful tool that we have, that these 82 political prisoners one day will be with their family. We can pressure our own governments, We can create a change in another country, no matter where you are. This is the power of the interconnected world that we're living. It's not just to talk to your friends that live 1,000 miles away or buy things for whatever you want. It's to bring solidarity where it's most needed. So I want to ask you something for last chance. Last relaxing exercise. I want all of you to close your eyes one more time and imagine that you're in your bed sleeping. But then you start to hear weird noises. Again, loud voices. Someone in the background starts to cry. So you open your eyes, scared. But now, this time, you're at home. You're finally safe. Because people like you, outside the world, protest for you. You are safe, once again, thanks to global solidarity.